let me demonstrate how to tie this up. Okay, eyes are lined. We're gonna pull 1 arm length. Okay. Now, you'll notice I've used my teeth. I've got a unique chip in my teeth here that allows me to cut fishing line very easily. For the rest of you that don't have that unique situation, use a knife or a pair of scissors. It'll probably save you on a dental bill. So, we've got our piece of line here. We're going to grab these hooks here, pull them out. Check your rags, folks. I always check my rags, not just to make sure the river's open. The rags will tell you if it's special gear rule or not, whether the shank to the bark to the tip needs to be 3/4 of an inch. In a lot of the rivers that I fish, you can drag 3 of these through a body of water. That's excessive. 1 hook will work. I prefer 2 when I'm allowed. So let's get back to this. Okay, so you have your hook. I'm holding it in my right hand. So this is my right hand. Hook, the point is facing away from me. You're going to take your line and you're going to go through the eyelet, just like that. Okay, you're going to give yourself enough string there. See, I got some string there. And then you're going to loop it behind your finger. Now I'm going to demonstrate this. Now you can see here, guys, it's just looped right behind my finger. Nothing fancy. My index finger is holding that in place. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the string through the loop. I use my teeth again, because that's like my third hand. And I'm going to pull it around the shank. And I'm going to pull it around the shank. Do you see how it's loose and then it's tight right there? I'm going to do that 3 or 4 times. Okay? 2. And for demonstration purposes, I'll just go 3 on here. Now let me show you guys what this kind of looks like. Okay? So there it is. Now, if I'm in this hand, I'm holding the extra piece of string. In this hand, I'm holding the main. Now watch what happens when I pull tight. It cinches right around the shank. This is called snelling a hook, and I'll tell you why this is important later. Okay? So, we're going to find the other part of our string here, or line string. That's funny. Other part of our 30-pound test Iser line, which I highly recommend. You've got your swivel here, your barrel swivel. First eyelet. First eyelet. Going to come through. And for those of you who aren't familiar, you can research the knot I'm about to tie off screen very quickly. It's called an improved clinch knot, also known as the fisherman's knot. This is an extremely common knot. Most of you will know it. You just take your line here, you wrap it around 6 or 7 times. You've created a hole there. You're going to put the line through that hole, and the hole you just created, you're going to put it right back through, like so. Okay, forgive me for that. And you're going to pull tight. Improved clinch knot. That's a very common knot. That is okay to tie this particular knot on the eyelet of the barrel swivel because you're not going to have a lot of friction there. Again, I will go back to the universal knot that we tied on the shank when we snelled the hook, and I'll tell you why that's so important. Okay. To your main line, which I don't have, you're gonna. There's two eyelets on this barrel swivel and the clasp. Okay, 2 eyelets and a barrel and a clasp. 1 eyelet for your leader or your main, the other eyelet for your leader or your main. They're universal. It doesn't matter which one you tie it to. They're gonna function the exact same. On the very first eyelet here, I have tied my leader to that first eyelet. Now, your clasp. This is what's so easy. You just put the weight on and you clasp. Now look what I've created. Leader, weight, and that's where my main would go. So the weight is super interchangeable. It dangles, it's free floating. It's not, it can get caught in a rock. You can pluck it right out. Whatever's gonna happen. it just kind of reduces the snag potential, and it also just ease of usability. We're gonna go back to our hook here, and remember that we snelled the hook. Now check this out. If we push this line out, I create a loop right there because my knot is right here. That's my knot. We're gonna take that piece of ultraviolet pink yarn. We're gonna put it right through, and it clasps right to it. Look at that. Boop. Perfect. It's not gonna go anywhere. This, all in all, from start to finish, from snelling your hook to putting your yarn on to the leader to the weight, this, my friends, is the Delta Special. You may run into people out on the river that are not going to appreciate this mechanism because they're more traditional. They're going to do bobber and egg, and there's nothing wrong with these other forms of catching and harvesting fish. The Delta Special, guys, it's an aggressive rig. You are like fish hunting, and you're going to foul hook. Everybody does. This rig has a higher percentage of foul hook, but it also has a higher percentage of success rate, whereas the bobber and egg has a lower percentage of snagging, but it also has a lower percentage of success rate, right? So if you snag a fish or foul hook, right, make sure you release your fish. Don't keep that. You'll get in a lot of trouble. Don't do that. Don't intentionally snag either. This rig can be used to intentionally snag. That's not what we're promoting here. That's not what we're doing. You need to use this rig as it is designed for, and that is floss. I have talked to a lot of game wardens. They have inspected my gear. This is not illegal gear. Totally legal, at least in the state of Washington. Unless you are jerking through the column of water and you're trying to intentionally snag and do things that are basically criminal and poaching. Don't do that. Use this rig. Master this rig. And I promise you, you are just going to start hammering steelhead and salmon like no tomorrow. And yes, you're going to foul hook, but it's still very fun to land a foul hooked fish. Just make sure you let them go. And thanks for watching TOA. Be sure to like and subscribe. See you on the next video.